हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। आज हम लोग नए चैप्टर की शुरुआत कर रहे हैं और वो चैप्टर है टैक्स स्ट्रक्चर इन इंडिया। तो सबसे पहले बात कर लेते हैं टैक्स की। ठीक है, व्हाट इज़ टैक्स? तो मॉडर्न इकोनॉमिस्ट डिफाइन टैक्स एज अ रीडिस्ट्रीब्यूशन mode of income redistribution. There might be other ways also to look at it. The usual meaning of tax people think is that a tax is imposed by the government to fulfill its important obligations on the expenditure front. We may take an example to see how tax redistribute income. Suppose an economy has flat rate of 30% income tax. Just see the impact of this tax on the income disparity of two people A and B earning 50,000, 80,000 respectively. This is the table. Income disparity 30,000 after paying tax. Income disparity tax 21,000. The table given above shows how the income disparity between two individual A and B decreases from 30,000 to 21,000 after paying tax, and this is the first level when income and these individuals have been redistributed. Now the money the government has received by the tax collection, that is 39,000, means 50,000 plus 24,000, will be spent on different sectors: infrastructure, education, health, and so on, which will be provide service to one and all alike. Here, income is redistributed at the secondary level. Consider a person who pays income tax but does not take services of government school for his children's education, nor goes to the government hospital for medical services, and compare him with a person who has no option other than the government schools and the hospitals. The higher taxpayers getting no government services and a lower taxpayer getting all the services. Here income looks redistributed from the consumption side. Let's talk about the incidence of tax. This is the point where a tax leaves its final burden. For example, when the GST is imposed in India on biscuit, the tax is actually paid out by the consumer who bears the final burden. Thus, the incidence of this tax is on the consumer. Impact of tax. This is the point where a tax leaves its initial burden. For example, when the GST is imposed in India on biscuit, the producer bears its initial burden. Thus, the impact of tax is on the producer. Direct tax, the tax which has both incidence and impact at the same point. In the direct tax, the person who is hit, the same person bleeds. For example, income tax, interest tax, and so on. Indirect tax is a tax which has incidence and impact at different points. Is the indirect tax. The person who is hit does not bleed, rather, someone else bleeds. For example, GST, excise, custom duty, sales tax, and so on are imposed on either the producer or the traders, but it is general consumer who bear the burden of the tax. Let's talk about the method of the taxation. There are three methods of taxation prevalent in economies with their individual merits and demerits. Progressive taxation. Progressive taxation has increasing rate of tax for the increasing value or volume on which the tax is being imposed. Indian tax Indian income tax is a typical example of it. The idea here is less tax on the people who earn less and higher tax on the people who earn more, classifying income earners into different slabs. This method is believed to discourage more earning by the individual to support low growth and development unintentionally. Being poor is rewarded while richness is punished. Taxpayers also start evading tax by showing lower unreal income. But from different angles, this tax is pro poor and taxes people according to their affordability or sustainability. This is the most popular taxation method in the world and a populist one too. Regressive taxation is just opposite to the progressive method, having decreasing rate of tax for increasing value or volume on which the tax is being imposed. There are not any permanent or specific sectors for such taxes. As a provision of promotion, some sectors might be imposed with regressive taxes. For example, to promote the growth and development of small scale industries, India at one time had regressive excise duty on their production. With increasing slabs of volume they produced, the burden of tax kept decreasing. This method, while appreciated for rewarding the higher producer or income earners, is criticized for being more taxing on the poor and low producers. And this is not a popular mode of taxation, not as per the spirit of modern democracies. Proportional taxation. In proportional taxation, there is neither progression nor regression from the point of view of rate of taxes. Such taxes have fixed rates of for every level of income or production. If they are neutral from the poor or the rich point of view or from the point of view of the levels of production. Usually, this is not used by the economies as an independent method of taxation. Generally, this mode is used as a complementary method with either progressive or regressive taxation. If not converted into proportion taxation, every progressive tax will keep increasing, and similarly, every regressive tax will decrease to zero, resulting in completely futile tax method. And that is why every tax, be it progressive or regressive in the nature, must be converted into proportional taxes after a certain level. A good tax system. What are the characteristics of good tax system? There has always been a debate among economists and policymakers on the issue of design of tax system. Taxation is developing economies has been even more debated as the trade-off assessment generate enough controversy. The main debatable issue is the design of tax system are whether progressive or regressive taxation. Direct tax or indirect tax collection should be higher, whether revenue deficit is better or so on. The controversy apart, there is a broad consensus on five principles of a good tax system among economists and policymakers. These are fairness, efficiency, administrative simplicity, flexibility, and transparency. Fairness means, though fairness, that is the first criterion of a good tax system, is not always easy to define. Economists suggest the inclusion of two elements in the tax system to make it fair, namely horizontal equity and vertical equity. When individuals in identical or similar situation pay identical or similar taxes, it is known as the horizontal equity. When better off people pay more taxes, it is known as vertical equity. Efficiency. The efficiency of tax system is its potential to affect or interfere with the efficiency of economy. A good tax raises revenue with the least cost on the taxpayers and least interference on the allocation of resources in the economy. The tax system affects the economic decisions of the individual and groups by either encouraging or discouraging them to save, spend, invest, and so on. Taxes can improve efficiency of economy. Taxes on pollution or on smoking extended revenue to the government and also serve a broader social purpose. This is known as the double dividend of the tax. And this is done for the today. We will talk about these things tomorrow. Thank you so much. Keep watching my videos.